I first learned who you were in 2016 when your show Catching Kelsey was on E. You
Uh-huh.
were 100% my TV crush when this show was on.
Stop
I
it.
was in love with you.
Pop culture's on fire again, and it's pure chaos in the best way possible. First up, Swifties just unearthed a 2016 clip of Kristin Cavallari flirting with a baby-faced Travis Kelce, and it's so awkward you might actually need popcorn and a pillow to scream into.
How long does it take for you to know if you're going to like someone or not? Because I feel like I know immediately.
Then, word spreading that Taylor's working on a Romeo and Juliet style movie inspired by her love story with Kelce, which sounds romantic, or maybe just way too on the nose. Meanwhile, insiders say Travis is spiraling from the fame overload. He's helmet slamming like he's in a midlife crisis montage. Elsewhere, Scott Eastwood's reminiscing about Taylor cold calling him for Wildest Dreams, 50 Cent's firing stray shade at Kelsey's ex.
Like a lot better than the last thing he had going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
And Nick Carter's got Taylor fangirling again because apparently 2025's one giant Swift multiverse. Swifties just dug up an old 2016 clip of Kristin Cavallari shooting her shot with Travis Kelce and is making the rounds like a vintage meme that aged all wrong. Kristin, fresh off her Laguna Beach glory days, is sitting across from a baby-faced Kelce, gushing about how he was her TV crush back when he had his own dating show. Yep, Catching Kelce, the one where he tried to find love on national TV. You can already feel the secondhand embarrassment, right?
I first learned who you were in 2016 when your show Catching Kelsey was on E.
Uh-huh.
You were 100% my TV crush when this show was on.
Stop
I
it.
was in love with you.
Fast forward to 2025, and that same NFL star is now basically pop culture royalty engaged to Taylor Swift, aka the global queen of You Belong With Me energy. So yeah, watching Kristin flirt with him back then, extra awkward. The internet has labeled it everything from cringe cinema to historical comedy gold. One scroll through the comments and you can practically hear the collective yikes. In the clip, Kristin turns the flirt dial all the way up, leaning in, smiling a little too wide, tossing compliments like confetti. Meanwhile, Travis is doing that polite nod guys do when they're trying to be nice but their brain is screaming abort mission. He gives her that calm football guy response about how relationships take time, which is basically athlete code for let's not go there.
How long does it take for you to know if you're going to like someone or not? Because I feel like I know immediately.
To really dive into a relationship with somebody, I feel like it's going to take at least, I don't know. It's going to take some time. You really got to know somebody to take that step and really like be committed and be in full throttle.
Kristin, unfazed, keeps trying to light the spark, asking about chemistry, while Travis is clearly just trying to find the nearest end zone to escape. And speaking of glow-ups, apparently Taylor's got another one in the works, this time straight from the silver screen. She's cooking up a Romeo and Juliet-style movie based on her love story with Travis Kelce. Yup, the same duo that broke the internet every time they so much as breathed in the same stadium is now inspiring a whole cinematic tragic romance moment. And while that all sounds like dreamy and artsy, not everyone's buying the ticket. Some people think the whole thing might be a bit too, well, Taylor-centric. Like, we love you, but maybe let someone else play you for once. Insiders claim she's been scribbling away on the script herself, writing, rewriting, and probably sipping chamomile tea while brainstorming modern Shakespearean heartbreak. They say it's a contemporary twist on the old classic, filled with big emotions, poetic angst, and just enough Kelce-coded romance to make Swifties lose their minds. But critics? They're already sharpening their quills, calling it the egotistical project to end all egotistical projects. Ouch. Basically, they think Taylor's about to turn her diary into a full-blown Hollywood feature. Apparently, she's pulling inspiration from Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, the iconic glitter-fueled Leonardo DiCaprio chaos we all secretly loved. So imagine that, but with NFL highlights, friendship bracelets, and maybe a cameo from Donna Kelce. If she's not careful, this might end up feeling less timeless love story and more Taylor Swift the extended director's cut. And while Taylor's crafting her own modern-day Shakespeare moment, looks like her real-life Romeo is kinda living through the tragic part already. Word is Travis is starting to feel the full weight of that celebrity circus life, the fame, the pressure, the non-stop scrutiny, and let's just say it's not all love songs and confetti cannons right now. Insiders are whispering that the NFL star's nerves are running thinner than a fourth-quarter lead, and his usual cool, calm, tight-end energy is starting to crack under the spotlight. Apparently, the fame boost that came with being one of half of America's favorite couple has turned into a full-time job, and Travis didn't exactly sign up for the overtime. Between constant appearances, podcast cameos, and being the plus one to the world's biggest pop star, he's barely getting a breather. Insiders are saying he's losing control, not in a meltdown kind of way, but more like I just spiked my helmet and scared my coach kind of way. At a recent game, fans spotted him going full Hulk mode, slamming his helmet, muttering to himself, and looking like a man who just realized he can't ghost the paparazzi. And sure, athletes get heated all the time, but for Travis, that's rare. This guy's normally all smiles, handshake lines, and TikTok dances, so when he's suddenly tossing his gear like it insulted his mom, people notice. And speaking of people who have been part of the Taylor Swift cinematic universe, turns out Scott Eastwood's got a nostalgic story of his own. The guy recently revealed that way back in 2015, he got a random phone call from Taylor herself, asking him to star in her Wildest Dreams music video. Imagine chilling on your couch, minding your business, and suddenly getting a call that says, "Hey, it's Taylor." Of course he thought it was some prank, because who expects Taylor Swift to just cold call you like she's ordering pizza? Apparently he answered like Taylor who, which, let's be honest, might be the last time anyone on earth uttered those words unironically. Once it clicked that yes, the Taylor Swift was inviting him to be her on-screen love interest, Eastwood probably didn't even check his schedule. He just said yes before she could change her mind. And that's how we got one of Swift's most swoon-worthy videos, a sweeping old Hollywood-style romance complete with desert winds, longing gazes, and wild horses.
Looking back, are you happy that you took part?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's Taylor Swift. Can't say no to Taylor.
That's a good song, too.
In it, Taylor and Scott play star-crossed lovers filming a movie within a movie. Basically, The Notebook meets Out of Africa but make it music video. Taylor's hair's blowing, Scott's smoldering, and somewhere 1,000 fans are yelling, "This should have been me." Years later, while promoting his new romantic flick Regretting You, Eastwood admitted he had no idea how big of a deal that video would become. His co-stars even geeked out on set when they realized he was that guy from Wildest Dreams. One of them even called her mom in disbelief, like the man who once slow danced with Taylor Swift was now standing right there. And speaking of people who have had a front row seat to the Taylor-Travis saga, looks like 50 Cent just grabbed himself a microphone and dove straight into the mix. And not quietly either. The rapper's been making waves after dropping what fans are calling one of the most savage comments about Travis Kelce's ex, Kayla Nicole. Leave it to 50 to turn a casual interview into a lyrical smackdown. He can't help himself. It all started when he was asked about Taylor giving him a little name-drop moment in her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. Apparently, she sprinkled in a reference to 50 Cent in a track about high school romance back when he was the king of the airwaves and everyone had In Da Club on their burnt CD mixes. Naturally, 50 thought the shout-out was cool, and insiders say he even joked that nobody was topping him back then anyway. Fair enough, he's not wrong.
And that's why it was cool to me. The shout-out is the shout-out, but what she was making reference to is the period that no one was more prominent in music at that point.
But then, because 50's gonna 50, the convo shifted to Taylor and Travis, and that's when things got spicy. When asked if he liked them as a couple, he reportedly grinned that trademark troll grin and said something along the lines of, "Yeah, this one's way better than Travis's last relationship." Translation, shots fired, no warning, direct hit at Kayla Nicole. The internet didn't need GPS to find out who he meant.
Like a lot better than the last thing he had going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Fans immediately started buzzing, calling it classic 50 behavior. He's been in beefs with half of Hollywood, so taking a jab at an NFL ex? Child's play. Meanwhile, Kayla's posting Instagram stories about choosing joy and quoting Tracy Ellis Ross like she's taking the high road straight to inner peace. Props to her. And while 50's throwing lyrical grenades, Taylor's busy proving she can still unite the internet without breaking a sweat, this time with a little help from none other than the Backstreet Boys. Yep, cue the 90s nostalgia and glitter microphones, because Nick Carter just busted a move that has Taylor and her entire fandom collectively losing it. So picture this. Nick Carter, yes, the frosted tip heartthrob himself, decides to drop a dance video on Instagram, jamming out to a fan-made mashup of Everybody and Taylor's latest track, Elizabeth Taylor, from The Life of a Showgirl. Basically, it's a cross-generational pop explosion that nobody asked for but everybody desperately needed. The Backstreet Boys captioned the clip like the proud uncles of the internet, tagging Taylor and saying how much they loved it. Within hours, Swift herself slid into the comment section faster than a fangirl at a meet and greet. She couldn't help but gush, reacting with full caps energy like she just saw her crush walk on stage. You could practically hear the squeal through the screen, and just like that, social media imploded. Fans were tagging each other like it was 2001 again, screaming about how this needs to be a real collab. People were already declaring it the Song of the Year before it even existed, demanding Taylor and the boys hit the studio and drop a remix that would instantly melt every dance floor from Vegas to Vancouver. Meanwhile, the fan who made the original mashup probably floating somewhere above the stratosphere right now. Her TikTok sound has blown up with thousands of new videos, proving once again that Swifties can turn literally anything viral, even a Backstreet Boy doing dad moves. And honestly, the timing couldn't be better. The boys are in Vegas doing their Into the Millennium residency, and Taylor's wrapping up promo for Showgirl while reportedly planning her Kelce core wedding of the century. If these two pop powerhouses actually team up, it might just bring the 90s and 2020s into one glittering, chaotic musical universe, and the internet's so here for it. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.